Welcome to the NWI.com Political Roundtable for Thursday, June 14th, Flag Day. I'm Robert Blaszkiewicz, Assistant Managing Editor of the Times.
Very nice.
Join with me today, Doug Ross, Editorial Page Editor of the Times, and Mark Kiesling, Times columnist, talking about the latest developments, and we're going to kind of keep it local this week. Let's start off in Lake County, where the Lake County Council has been faced with a couple of kind of major issues that they don't seem to be able to take action on. First of all, RBA funding.
Regional Bus Authority.
Right.
Right. And this is, the RBA has enough money to last, keep providing service till June 30th, basically. So, the clock's really ticking.
They need
Well,
a
this is
bailout.
what happened last year, too. I mean, look at what happened last year.
Well,
They
hopefully
waited-
something will happen.
They
but,
waited till the last minute,
here's my perfect scenario is the county council says, okay, we've got a plan, it's going to take a while to get the money in to do this, and let's talk to, say, the RDA or whoever to provide bridge money to, finance them until the local money kicks in. Otherwise, you're looking at the shutdown of bus service for people who really depend on it.
Are there any statistics on how many people really depend on it?
Well, yes.
I mean, I do see a lot of buses with one or two people on them.
Which is ironic, because I see a lot of cars with only one or two people in them. Usually it's just the driver, no passengers, all those wasted seats. I mean, what's up with all these wasted space in cars?
Well, the difference is a car only has 4 seats. A bus has, 60 seats. School buses have 66 seats.
And kids with not a lot of leg room in those. As somebody who's ridden in a school bus as an adult, I can attest to that.
I always ended up over the wheel. It was just not fun.
Although the back of the bus was the best spot to be. But,
Well, yeah, if you like smoke.
well, in any case,
I'm not talking cigarettes.
This is well, typically not in a school bus, I would hope, but this is a place where look at the Brian Howie's column on Sunday will point this out, but look at the poverty rates. I mean, in Indiana it's what 13.5 or so % of the people live below the poverty line. So Gary, you've got more than a quarter. East Chicago, you've got just about a third, and that's below the poverty line. That's not 200%. So, these are the types of people who will rely on that bus service. You've got the people who commute to Chicago and use the EasyGo service, which, those buses are pretty full.
Those buses do their job. The EasyGo buses, you see those full of people, because you're correct. They're going into Chicago and they're taking people, downtown to their jobs.
And this is easier because you're picking up everybody all at the same time rather than, a bus route that people have different hours where they need to be for, different medical appointments or whatever. So that's where it becomes trickier to schedule all of these. And, typically you can't do it, a week or two in advance so that you can call up, make an appointment.
Oh, I pointed out before, the North Township Dial-A-Ride program is highly effective because you do call up, the day before and say, I need to go to the grocery store, I need to go to the doctor, whatever. And there's small buses. They may have 18 seats on them, and they will come to your house. It's not where you got to go out and stand on a street corner somewhere. They'll come right to your house, and then they just honk the horn, and you come out, and get on the bus. Is there a happy compromise you could make between large buses that don't have anybody on, they have 1 or 2 people on them, and your dial or having no buses at all? I think the dial ride system is a great compromise. It's public transportation that's used, and it's an on-demand service. and it's in demand. But that's North Township. You don't have it anywhere else.
I think if you develop a good system, and I think if the county council comes up with the money for it, it can force the consolidation that would create the better system and make that happen.
Right.
Look at Valparaiso, for instance, has a fixed route system that is working famously. Now, it was built from scratch, and so they were able to get newer buses that are smaller, more efficient. They do the routes more effectively. They cover less territory because it's one city, but you can do a better system, I think, if you do consolidate.
I think you hit it on the head when you said smaller and more efficient. I think that's key here. I think if people thought that the council was trying to watch out for their tax money by making the system A, efficient, and B, size effective, that they would be more attuned.
And there seems to be a certain distrust from the Lake County Council of the way the RBA is going to administer the system.
Right, that, and they've had all the facts and figures put in front of them. Maybe it would be better for the RBA to do that on a very public basis. But what basically they should be asking for is they should be asking, if we put Gary Public Transit in this, if we put North Township Dial-A-Ride into the equation, put everybody into this, okay, and we do it right, what will it cost, and where would the money come from, and
if you could consolidate all those things,
exactly,
you could create efficiencies.
That's one of the things that the RDA, the Regional Development Authority, was created to do, and it just hasn't been able to accomplish it because of the balkanization here. So.
Now, the balkanization, though, of Lake County has existed for
decades.
I was going to say since about 1836, but
there you go.
Yeah, but in an era
centuries?
In an era when there was ample tax money because of the industrial tax base, that era is over. So
the gravy train has dried up.
Yeah. Well, let's switch gears to another Lake County issue, and that's the issue of 911 again with consolidation of the 911 call centers, which is mandated by the state.
Right.
So
they have to do this.
Something has to be done.
Right. Now, there's the difference. There is the RBA is not mandated. They're going to have to get off the schneid and fund this 911 system. That's all there is to it.
That's all there is to it, but again, they're not.
Right now, they're balking at doing that,
yeah, exactly.
And so there's now maybe there is proponents of consolidation are looking at other options in terms of just going straight to the cities and towns. If you get kind of an end run around the county council. If you get enough cities and towns, 50% of the population, to sign on to a certain plan, they can institute a tax plan to pay for this consolidation.
Well, Doug and I were talking a little bit off camera about the amount of money that cities and towns are going to save by, doing away with individual, potentially doing away with individual call centers.
Right.
You'll save on maintenance. You'll save, and I hate to say it, but you'll save on personnel, which no one wants to see particularly. But I mean, that's money right there.
I wouldn't say no one wants to see it. That's what Republicans want to see. They want to see smaller government.
Well, I don't think anybody wants to. I don't think anybody wants to see people lose their jobs.
I would say Republicans do want to see public employees lose their jobs.
Yeah, well, I would say that.
That's what they've been.
I think ineffective.
That's the drum that they've been pounding.
Ineffective and inefficient public employees, perhaps. But I mean, look what happens when they lose their jobs. They go on unemployment for 2 years. So I'm not,
well, they want to stop that too.
Yeah.
So I mean, well, that's not going to happen. So.
But the point is, you're going to have to consolidate. You either capture the money that the cities and towns are already spending on
Right.
this service and use that to fund the
Yeah.
same service at the county level, or you say we're going to need a new tax.
And the county council can either drive this train or step back
Or get run over by it.
and
yeah.
get run over. Yeah, basically let the cities and towns take it over and basically lose their control.
Or they could drive
over
they could
this.
actually drive a bus.
Charter
Right.
bus,
And then-
there you
Right.
go.
Let's move over to Porter County. Kind of an interesting issue that came up with Portage School Board, where the board members were looking at teachers who live out of the district, but would like to see their children attend the Portage schools. It would be more convenient probably for a lot of teachers who can, drop their kids off at school, go to their job, and then pick them up afterwards. There was some discussion over it being kind of a perk to the teachers, but then also some reluctance on the part of the precedent it would set, and would it be unfair to others?
Well, and that's the good question. I mean, do you, and I can see why this would be a huge value to the employees, but also to those children, because then those children would, and actually kind of a detriment, because they know that their parent was looking over their shoulder all the
No,
time,
there's
and the
always
friends of their
that.
parents, yeah. But, my question is, why not just open it up and create open enrollment, and then if you need more facilities, then you can show what a great success your school district is.
The question is do you fully subsidize the child's attendance at the school, or because it's going to cost money to send him or her to the school, or do you just give them? Do you just charge them, the teachers, a nominal tuition fee?
Well, but
To
keep this
cover-
in mind, the state's paying the cost
Right.
of the tuition.
Well, if the state
the-
picks up the cost, I don't really see what where the great controversy is here for Portage.
Well, it's a fairness issue.
Right. They don't allow outside enrollment, I think because of space issues, basically capacity. They don't allow outside tuition students.
No,
A lot of districts do. and
Munster does.
Yeah.
It costs almost as much to go to a Munster school if you're an out-of-district resident. I know when I lived in Hammond, a number of my neighbors sent their kids to Munster schools, and they paid dearly for it. But it wasn't as much as, say, sending them to Marian Catholic or something like that, which is
Right. Well, and this is, look just across the line in LaPorte County, the South Central School District, the new Tri-Township School District. They will send buses into neighboring school districts to pick up children because they have open enrollment there. So, I mean, it's a much different situation from, being closed. We're going to,
Right.
shut off the borders and not allow any,
Right.
repel the borders, basically.
Did anyone think about the fact that the school district could actually make some money off of this?
Well, the issue is the facilities costs. And so
Well-
if you take the additional students in and you need additional facilities, then that becomes the issue, because then that's the Portage Township residents paying for the additional facilities for students
But
from elsewhere. So-
I don't see, I don't see the need, for example, to subsidize the book fee or something like that. Or, I don't know how Portage is, but do they have a computer fee? There's no need to subsidize that, because you're going to the teacher, whoever it is, would be paying that regardless of what school district. their
Right,
children
Indiana's
went
one
to.
of the few
Right.
states that require book rental and so forth and so on.
Right.
Because the state doesn't pick up the tab.
Right.
So,
So, really, I mean, the only cost you'd have would be maybe extra desks and chairs.
well, and potentially extra classrooms.
And extra
And-
teachers. I mean,
Right.
you need
Extra cafeteria
so,
facilities,
Yeah,
yeah. So-
if you have enough of these extra students, it will add.
Well,
Right. So that's the question. I mean,
If you-
how.
Yeah, and if you're a parent in that district and all of a sudden, rather than your kid being in a class of 25, your kid's in a class of 30, you're probably not happy.
Right.
So,
Oh, that's always a that's a problem right there. That's the biggest problem I see right there is overcrowding the classrooms.
yeah, well, it's a tough issue. We'll see kind of
Be interesting to see where it goes.
So yeah, so we'll keep an eye on that along with all the other political developments. So thanks for watching this week. We'll be back next week with another political roundtable.